Hi everybody, I'm Debbie with Feel Good Qigong, and I'm going to demonstrate a 5-minute elixir to keep your spine healthy and moving in many different directions. They say in yoga and Qigong, you're as healthy as the flexibility of the spine. So this is a little routine that'll keep that spine nice and healthy. We're gonna go right into knocking on the door of life. So what I love about this particular movement, this is a twisting flexion of the spine, and it's also a great elixir to start tapping on some meridian points. It's on tapping on my kidney meridian, my spleen meridian, my liver meridian, and then you can upgrade it by tapping your lung meridian as well. So they call this knocking on the door of life because it does keep your long life healthy and with lots of vitality. And it's important to keep the spine moving in many different directions. And this knocking on the door of life is considered a twisting flexion and a great elixir for so many things. And as I said before, once you start learning more about Qigong, especially traditional Chinese medicine, you'll start understanding these principles of meridians and energy and all those great things that maybe you're not familiar with, but it'll all start to make sense the more that you practice. So just doing this, knocking on the door of life, will make a huge difference in how your spine is, especially if you suffer from any kind of back issues. You can keep your head centered if this makes you dizzy, or you can bring it all the way around, following the shoulder. And then come back to center and notice the rebound of that movement. Now we're going to take our spine into a forward and back flexion. We're simply going to place our hands onto our thighs. I'm going to show you a side view. You're going to make a back bend with your back. You're arching the back, looking up. And then as you come forward, you're rounding the spine as you bring your chin to your chest, opening up the back of the spine. We're going to inhale, use some breath of this. Inhale, arch the spine. And then as you exhale, round the spine, bringing the tail, tucking the tailbone under, bringing your chin to your chest. As you inhale, you're arching the spine. And as you exhale, you round the spine. So we're just going back and forth in these two movements. This is also called cat dog in yoga. Might be familiar to you. As you bring the body forward and back. And then slowly come back up to standing. So we did a twisting flexion, forward and back. Now we're going to do a side flexion. We're going to raise our arms up over the head. You can interlace the fingers, reach the palms all the way up. Come onto your toes, drop the heels, come over onto one side as you do a side stretch. Back onto the toes, drop the heels over to the other side for a side stretch. We're going to do this again, onto the toes, drop the heels over to one side, back to center, onto the toes, drop the heels over to the other side. And then we'll release. Now we're going to bring ourselves into a spiral 8. It's also considered a crossover. We're going to bring our arms over to the left as you bring your head to the right, coming back to center, bringing your arms over to the right as you look over to your left, back to center. So you're just going from one side with the arms looking in the opposite direction, going back and forth. Now we're going to open this up into a spiral movement, a figure 8 movement. It's called swimming dragon. You're making a figure 8 with your hands, with your arms. And this will keep, again, a very limber spine. In Qigong, they call this a elixir for longevity because it's just a beautiful movement. And it feels so good in the spine. And you can start bringing your arms up, all the way up. Coming back down again. Now have some fun with this. You can make them small. You can do this with the legs together if you want. It's a little bit of a deeper kind of movement, or you can make the legs nice and wide as you go back and forth. So this is moving the spine in many different directions. You're going to come all the way up onto the toes, stretch through the fingers and through the toes, and release. We're spreading the fascia. We're opening up the fascia. Release. And then again, we're kind of like a rubber band, opening everything up, stretching out, and then release. And then come back to center. And this should feel really, really good on your spine. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining.